Alright, we're working on our 1967 Camaro, and we have some quarter panel damage. Not on just one side, but both sides. And if we come around here and we look onto the left side of the vehicle, you're going to see that I am doing a full quarter panel replacement on this car. I had to put a stop to it because we went ahead and removed the quarter panel around the fender lip, and it's rusted up there. And then over here, look what we got. This is all crushed in and mangled, so the new quarter panel wouldn't fit on that, and we're going to have to go ahead and replace that inner fender well as well. Another problem we ran into is if we look right here where the quarter panel meets the tail light panel, you can see where they've already tried to replace this thing once, and right here they went ahead and patched that right in this area right here. So there's really nothing wrong with doing that type of a repair if you do it correctly. That's the big key to doing panel repair replacement. And since we got to wait on parts for our left quarter panel, that will be our lesson today, is how do we use the quarter panel, or should I say replacement panel. A lot of people look at this and they say, that's a quarter panel, that's a full quarter panel. No, it's not. This is not a full quarter panel, because if you look right here, this is where it stops. It doesn't go all the way up to the window, it doesn't go all the way up into the roof line, it stops right there. These panels are not designed to replace the whole side of the vehicle. These panels are designed to cut a section out where you want it and replace it. Don't get misconfused, don't get misaligned on what this panel is basically for.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Everybody knows when you're restoring a classic vintage car such as our Camaro, you want to keep all the original metal as possible, especially around the door jambs. You want to keep it down where the rocker panel meets. You want to keep everything factory OEM original. When you start replacing the body parts with aftermarket Japanese, Taiwan made stuff, that's when body parts start misaligning. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we're not going to use that whole panel that I just showed you and cut it up here all the way down and all the way around. It's not going to happen. But what we are going to do is, if you take a good look at this fender lip right here, you can see this is nice factory stuff going on. This is all original and it's real nice all the way down. But when you get right here, it's all crushed in, all right? And then you keep writing it down and look what we got. We got rot and rust on our fender lip. I wouldn't be surprised that when I take this little section out that there might possibly be rust inside our extension panel that goes to our trunk. So unlike the left side of our vehicle, we're going to have to get a little bit more precise. So unlike the left side of our vehicle, we're going to have to get a little bit more precise with this quarter panel action here. So unlike the left side of our vehicle, we're going to have to get a little bit more professional, a little more, what can we say, accurate when we cut out the section we need, because we're not replacing the whole thing. So this is where we got to start taking measurements, and we got to accurately cut out only what we want to cut out, so we can go ahead and transfer that pattern onto our quarter panel replacement panel here. You understand what I'm saying? So basically the only thing we're going to use on this is this section right in here. And if we have to, we'll use this section and we'll come down like this or whatever, and then we'll use the bottom of this if it's rusted out underneath. So this is how you're going to save money, this is how you're going to save time, and this is how you're going to do it the right way, instead of diabolically ripping off the factory OEM panel when there's only one little section wrong with it and replacing it with some aftermarket pile of shit. That's basically what that is, a pile of shit. The metal's thinner, it's not factory original, It's not going to line up properly, and there's going to be something somewhere different about it, because if they made it identically 100% to factory specs, the factory can sue that company and put them out of business. So any aftermarket part that you get, there's going to be some type of a flaw or misalignment, something somewhere that isn't exactly the same as the original. Let's go ahead and get started on this thing, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start measuring this baby out to get her done. So before I go ahead and cut out my quarter panel replacement panel, which is over behind us there, I want to go ahead and measure all this out and see what I got to do to accurately replace what I need to replace. And the way that we're going to measure that, we're not going to come over here on this end. We're going to go all the way down to the door, because we know the door jamb is a nice square edge. So if we take our tape measure, we're going to hook it onto our door jamb, and then we're going to come right here. We're going to kind of eyeball where our damage is, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right here just like this, just to give us a marker. And then I'm going to look right here, and we're going to come to 33, okay? And that's going to be straight down. I'm going to put a piece of tape there. And I don't know if I told everybody out there, tape is a tool. Always keep tape. So you're going to see what I mean in a minute. So we got 33 inches here. And then we're going to look at this section here, and it looks like it's going to be right in this area here. We're going to come down here, but that's not going to work. So we're going to come over here, okay? We're going to come right here and come straight up. So let's see where that's going to lead us to. We're going to go, I'm going to eyeball it out just like you see me doing here. You see what I'm doing here? I'm eyeballing it, okay? I'm using my eye and I'm using my finger. And I want to look up under here. I don't see any more rust. It looks like it only goes right to here. So we're going to go like this, and then we're going to come up here, and it looks like it's going to be 51. Okay. I actually went, here's all our rusted area. I actually went over here to, I went about 4 inches past the rust. So that should be enough. We're going to go ahead and hook our door panel on the bottom here, and we're going to go ahead and do 51 here, just so we can get a nice straight line. And then basically we're going to replace this section right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put 51 right here. Now, we're going to cut this out nice and clean, but what we're going to do is on our other panel, we're going to make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to probably cut this thing down at least 2 times, possibly 3, before we actually have the panel we want to fit in there. And when we get all done cutting this, once I cut this and I see what's inside here, if this seems to be rusted out, then we're going to have to come down here like this and then come back around and over. So it might turn into a jigsaw puzzle when we're done, but it will look very, very nice and clean when we're finished, if that made any sense. Now, remember I was telling you about tape. Here's our tape right here. This is 3/4 inch. I don't use 1 inch, I use 3/4. So we're going to come across here just like this. And you know what? I'm going to go in 3/4 inch on the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So I'm going to go about 1 inch in on the whole deal. I'm going to come like this. And you know, I could actually make this round like that and all that, but since we're going to replace it and the dent comes way out to here, and then we got this rust that comes way out to here, we're just going to make a nice square. So I'm going to go in approximately 1 inch on everything. And here's our 51. Let me get the 51 first. That's our 51 mark. So then if I want to come in on that, I'm going to come in right to here. Alright, so this is the section I'm going to cut out. And then of course we want to go ahead and we're going to get a little bit closer on this line here. We got 33, but we're going to go about 36, 35. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this section off of the vehicle. Now if you're watching the video set that I am making or made, whichever's going on at this time, of the quarter panel on the other side, the full quarter panel, we literally took our air chisel and we cut the whole section out, and then we went back and cleaned all the edges up, and took all the extra metal out. On this particular job, we're not doing it that way. We will not be using an air chisel, only to bust some spot welds possibly, but that's it. What we're going to do is we're going to precisely cut this out, and then once we get that cut out, then we'll come back and get our spot welds off. Or I might go ahead and just remove the spot welds all the way around, because there's not that many. We got like almost a half of the fender well here, and then there's several down here, and then we'll just cut this out. Now, in the other video set, I was telling you how to remove spot welds without drilling through all of them, and what the key is this right here. This is just an air grinder with a cutting wheel on it, and you actually have control because it's a variable speed. So what I do on these old cars, when I don't want to drill all the way through the metal, I take my cutting wheel and I will cut the spot welds out, which will release this panel from the inner panel, and then we got a solid panel to weld back on. So let's go ahead and get started. The tools we're going to use is an air grinder. This is a 2-inch Roll-O-Lock. We got our safety equipment on, as you see, very important. Safety is number one. I don't know how many times I got to tell you about safety equipment. And we also got our cutting wheel, which I'll have to change that wheel out here in a minute probably. And another thing is an air saw. If you don't have any of these tools and all you have is electric tools, that's fine, go ahead and use those. But be very, very careful, because the difference between air tools and electric tools, air tools are variable speed by the trigger. That means I can barely push that and it'll go slow, or I'll hold it all the way down and it'll go fast. Same with all these other tools. So follow my lead here. I don't know what kind of tools you're using, but we're going to get her done and do it right. And I'm going to show you, by doing this situation instead of this situation, it's going to save you many, many hours of work, many, many dollars in money, and also it's going to give your car that factory original appearance and feel. And I want to show you what I'm talking about. When I shut the door, watch how easy this door shuts. It's done, okay? By doing this over here, I'm going to go ahead and keep this right here. Nothing will change. This will all stay original, and it will look factory. So, you know, if you want that right there, look how I cut that. Okay, hold on. Instead of this, okay, because that's what's going to happen when you start replacing full panels when they don't need replaced. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to take our cutoff wheel, and if you have an electric cutoff wheel, you can go ahead and just cut that off using your electric cutoff wheel. Now that is one thing an electric cutoff wheel is good for. You get nice quick cuts, but we're going to use air tools over here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out right here. And then I'm going to come under here and cut that, but I'm only going to cut the quarter panel. I'm not going to cut the inner fender well. And then I'm going to go ahead and ride it right up here, because we're going to have our saw there. And when you can't see this, but underneath this quarter panel in this area, it's like this close together. So we'll use our cutting wheel for this section. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom of this off right here using my cutting wheel, and only going through the quarter panel. Do not cut all the way through. Now, before we cut this off, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on my spot welds. So I'm going to go ahead and take my grinder, and I'm going to go ahead and grind the metal down and possibly try to find my spot welds. On a lot of these old cars, it's kind of hard to find those spot welds, but we're going to do our best and see how many we can locate and cut off. So according to my road map, it looks like I found, let's see here. It looks like I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, 7, 8, 9. So I found 9 spot welds on that. What I'm going to do is take my cutting wheel, just like you see here, and then I'm going to take my cutting wheel and actually cut the spot welds so I don't go through the inner fender well. And now I'm going to go ahead and repeat my process down here, just like this. And the problem you have with down here, it's real hard to see where the spot welds are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off, and then I'll bend it back. I need to cut the rest of this though. Just like that. And then when I cut this, I'll be able to remove this panel, and then I'll take this piece, bend it over, and find my spot welds right there. Now that we got our spot welds semi-cut, semi-found, what I'll do next is, if I can find the tool, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and take my air saw, I'm sorry, I was going to say air file, and I'll go ahead and finish that cutout. Now the reason I'm doing this, it makes a more precise cut, and it also saves money on cutting wheels for me. So what I'll do now is I'll pull my panel out, and hopefully we should, I don't think, there it is. We got some of the spot welds, but we didn't get them all. So when that happens, we don't want to ruin that lip, so when that happens, we're going to go ahead and cut this. And then we'll get that off of there, because we don't want to rip this apart. We don't want to ruin this. So as we pull the quarter panel off, we're getting ready to finish this up, and I just figured out what caused the rust on this quarter panel right here. And let me tell you, it wasn't weather, it wasn't rain nor snow or salt on the road, but what it was is a rat or a mouse with a little family living in the corner of his car right here. And this is proof that, let me show you this, look at that, okay? Look at that. This is proof that I'm going to tell you right now, cleaned out, that if you leave your car sitting for long periods of time, go ahead and get this cleaned out as I'm talking, and I'm going to explain. Look what we got here. Look at this. There's an old door hinge that fell down into the quarter panel there, and that probably helped start the rust as the rats and mice were pissing on it. So, but I'm going to let you know that if you let your car sit too long and leave them sitting like this guy did with his car, this is what happens. You get mice and rats and all kinds of stuff. Wow, we're going to keep that. And before you know it, you got rotten rust you would have never had before. So something to remember right there is don't let the rats rust you out. Alright, so we're going to keep moving on this. The next thing we're going to do, and I thought I brought my pliers over here. Let's see if I did or not. There they are. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this off of here. Like that. There we go. Come on. You can do it. There it is. Okay. Rat piss. Rat piss. Ooh, that smells like shit. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pliers and we're going to start folding this down. We're going to start folding our edge down. I thought I got all the spot welds, but I didn't. And another thing is this rust is giving us problems. Hopefully our fender well, hopefully. You can see where some of the rat nest was right up next to that. Son of a bitch. We might have to replace this fender well. I don't know yet. We'll find out in a little while. Let me get this off first. Let's see what we got. And it looks like I missed all the spot welds. Well, not really. Here's 3 of them I got. I got some of them, but not all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and take my air chisel. And I'm just going to push it. Nice and easy. Now for everybody that's just joining us, this air chisel has a bit on it that is specifically designed for spot welds. That's a spot weld busted air chisel bit. So I'm not just using any air chisel bit to do this with. All right. And it seems like our inner fender's in good shape. Just needs to be cleaned up. And there you go. Looks like we're going to have to do a little bit of hammer and dollying right in this area here. We're going to clean this surface rust up, and looks like we got a little patch right there. Our inner box extension, I'm sorry, not a box, an extension. That's called a trunk floor extension. It looks like it's in good shape. I got a small spot right here that I'm probably going to cut out. I'll cut a section out and then weld it in there. But we will not be replacing this. There's nothing wrong with it. If we look inside, we're probably going to find that it's okay. And yes, it looks all right. Everything looks good to me. It's just a little dirty in there from our rats and our piss. But thank you very much, Rat Man. Thank you very fucking much. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this cleaned up. I got to take this bottom piece off right here. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and transfer our measurements. Where are we at? You see what I got there? I got a nice square piece. I can go ahead and hammer this out, dolly it. I can go ahead and use that to transfer over to my panel. And what are we going to do? We're going to add this much to it. Do you see what I'm saying? We'll be back. Don't worry. It's going to be a nice repair. You're going to love it, and it's going to save you a lot of money. Trust me, because I am my friend, your friend, everybody's friend, Pete.
Watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.